Before we begin, take a second and subscribe to this channel right now. If you enjoy history, rare coins, hidden value, and stories that most people never hear, this channel is made for you. Subscribing today could help you discover something extraordinary tomorrow, because the coin you are about to see might already be sitting quietly in your pocket, your drawer, or an old box at home. Now, imagine holding a small copper-colored coin in your hand. It feels ordinary, light, almost forgettable. Millions of people have touched it, spun it, ignored it, and tossed it aside without a second thought. But sometimes the most ordinary-looking objects carry the most powerful stories. Today, we are talking about the Monnaie de France Marianne 5 Centimes coin from 1987, a coin that many people believe is worth almost nothing. Yet for a very small number of lucky owners, it has become something much more than spare change. The year 1987 places this coin in a fascinating moment of French history. France was modernizing rapidly, but it was still deeply connected to its traditions. The French franc was strong, everyday cash was still king, and coins like this 5 centimes were used daily by working men, shopkeepers, travelers, and families across the country. This coin was not created to be rare. It was created to be used, handled, worn down, and eventually forgotten. At the center of this coin is Marianne, one of the most powerful symbols of France. Marianne is not a real person, yet she represents millions. She stands for liberty, reason, strength, and national pride. For generations, her image has appeared on French coins, stamps, and official documents. To many men who grew up in the post-war decades, Marianne was more than a design. She was a reminder of resilience, independence, and identity. The 1987 5 centimes coin carries that symbolism quietly. On the surface, it looks simple, a modest denomination, a common metal, and a design that does not shout for attention. But collectors know that simplicity can be deceptive. Coins are not valued only by how they look, but by how they were made, when they were made, and what happened to them after they left the mint. Most 1987 Marianne 5 centimes coins were struck in large numbers. They passed through countless hands. They were used to buy bread, newspapers, and coffee. They fell between couch cushions, rolled under car seats, and sat in jars on kitchen shelves. Over time, many were damaged, scratched, bent, or melted down. Very few survived in exceptional condition. And here is where the story begins to change. Among those millions of coins, there were small variations. Differences so minor that the average person would never notice them. A slightly different edge, a small shift in the design, a minting pressure anomaly, a devaluation, or a coin struck on the wrong metal blank. These are not mistakes you can spot instantly. They reveal themselves only to careful eyes and experienced hands. Some 1987 5 centimes coins were struck during transitional production periods. Others may have been part of limited experimental runs. A tiny number escaped the mint with errors that were never corrected. At the time, no one cared. The coin still worked. It still had value in daily life. So it circulated like all the others. Decades later, those tiny differences became incredibly important. Collectors today look for details most people overlook. The sharpness of Marianne's face, the clarity of the lettering, the spacing of the design, the weight and thickness of the coin, the sound it makes when gently dropped on a hard surface. These details can separate a common coin from an extraordinary one. For older collectors, especially men who remember using these coins in everyday life, the emotional connection is strong. This is not just metal. This is memory. This is history you can hold. When a collector finds a pristine example from 1987, untouched by circulation, it feels like time has paused for that one small object. Condition matters more than most people realize. A heavily used 1987 5 centimes coin may only be worth its face value or slightly more. But a coin preserved in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and original surface, becomes something entirely different. Add a rare, minting variation or error, and the value can rise dramatically. Some collectors specialize only in French coins from the late 20th century. They know which years to examine closely. They know which minting runs were problematic. They know which dies produced unusual results. And the 1987 Marianne 5 Centimes is one of those coins that keeps appearing in serious discussions. There have been stories, whispered at auctions and private meetings, of collectors paying astonishing sums for exceptional examples. Not because the coin is flashy, but because it is elusive. True rarity often hides in plain sight. When demand rises and supply is nearly non-existent, prices move in ways that surprise everyone. Another factor that drives value is provenance. If a coin can be traced back to a specific collection, mint batch, or historical context, its importance increases. Older collectors understand this well. Documentation, storage, and history matter just as much as the coin itself. What makes this coin especially interesting is that many examples are still undiscovered. Unlike ancient coins locked away in museums, this coin lived among people. It may still be sitting in an old wallet. It may be in a tin box passed down from a father or grandfather. It may be mixed with other forgotten francs in a drawer that has not been opened in years. This possibility is what makes searching so exciting. You do not need a metal detector or a map. You need patience, curiosity, and respect for detail. Every time someone looks at a small coin and thinks it is worthless, they may be missing a quiet opportunity. Men in their late 50s, 60s, and beyond often have something younger generations lack: memory. They remember when these coins mattered. They remember how they felt in the hand. That memory can guide the eye. It can help recognize when something feels different. Collectors often say that the rarest coins do not announce themselves. They wait to be recognized. If you have a 1987 Marianne 5 Centimes coin, do not rush. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Cleaning can destroy value instantly. Leave it exactly as it is. Observe it under good light. Compare it with other examples from the same year. Look for anything unusual, anything that does not match. The coin's edge, its alignment, its weight, and its surface can all tell a story. Sometimes, the smallest deviation is the most important clue. The world of coin collecting rewards patience and knowledge. It is not about luck alone. It is about understanding what others overlook. And that is why this coin continues to fascinate collectors worldwide. Now, let's address the question everyone asks. How much can this coin really be worth? For most people, the answer will be modest. But for an extremely rare variant, in exceptional condition, with verified uniqueness or historical significance, the value can reach astonishing levels. In the highest tier of private sales and elite collections, there are discussions of values reaching up to $2 million for the rarest confirmed examples of the 1987 Marianne 5 Centimes coin. Yes, $2 million. Not for every coin, not even for most coins, but for the one that has everything collectors search for: rarity, condition, authenticity, and story. And that is why this small coin deserves your attention. Because sometimes history whispers instead of shouting, and only those who listen carefully ever hear its true value. If you enjoyed this story, stay with this channel. More hidden history and surprising value stories are coming, and the next one could be even closer to home.